I didn't want to show those videos again because they just make you sick to the stomach. They've been going viral, as you know, and they don't paint a pretty picture. And I'm just being extremely understated when I say this. Vendors spitting into beverages, mixing urine into dal and curries, and worse, beef tallow into savories, being served at pure vegetarian outlets. We've also seen videos where certain outlets that sport names that are distinctly Hindu but are run by non-Hindus. The deliberate obfuscation has created a furor. A few weeks ago, the UP police thought it had found the answer to stopping the wanton adulteration of food. During the Kamar Yatra, it asked vendors to prominently display their nameplates on their carts so that the Kamar Yatris could know who was preparing their food. The police said that Yatris needed to be sure that their food was kosher. The Supreme Court struck down the order on procedural grounds, besides saying it could lead to profiling, which is unconstitutional. Supreme Court had a point, viewers. But the Uttar Pradesh government of Yogi Adityanath has persisted and passed similar orders again yesterday. In fact, within a day of the Yogi Adityanath government doing so, today, the Congress-led Himachal Pradesh government has ordered that all restaurants and eateries in the state will have to display the names and addresses of operators, proprietors, managers at establishments. This has been announced by senior Himachal Pradesh Congress leader and Minister Vikramaditya Singh. The Himachal minister added that details regarding the new mandate have been issued during a joint meeting with the Public Works, Urban Development and Municipal Corporation. The Himachal order is modelled on UP CM Yogi Adityanath's diktat. And that diktat was, and I'll read it to you, viewers, quote, "Dhabas, restaurants and food establishments should be thoroughly investigated and police verification of every employee should be done, and necessary amendments should be made in the Food Safety and Standards Act to ensure the purity and sanctity of food items. It will also be mandatory to display the name and address of the operator, proprietor, manager, etc. at the food centers," unquote. Now, viewers, chapter and verse. The Himachal government, run by the Congress, has adopted this model. Chapter and verse. And let me quote now. You remember what Mr. Yogi Adityanath said? Now listen to what Vikramaditya Singh has said. He said, in Himachal, every restaurant and fast food outlet will be required to display owner's ID to ensure that people face no difficulties to make sure that hygienic food is sold. A decision has been taken for all street vendors. People expressed concern, and considering this, we have decided to implement a similar policy to that in Uttar Pradesh. Intriguingly, when Yogi's administration had first announced the orders, several from among the usual suspects in the so-called liberal ecosystem had filed pleas in the court on the grounds that the idea behind the directive is exclusion by design. And this is what Dr. Abhishek Manu Singhvi, counsel for the petitioners, had said then. He said the larger issue is much more important. You go to a restaurant depending on the menu, not who is serving. The idea of this directive is exclusion by identity. This is not the republic we envisaged in the constitution, unquote. Opposition parties like the Samajwadi Party and Congress opposed Yogi's orders because they thought them to be outrageously communal. Sample this from Ravidas Mehrotra, SP leader. He said, quote, "The move is aimed at reducing the sale of people from the Dalit, backward and minority communities. Hence, this dictatorial step has been taken," unquote. UP Congress statement said, order communal and divisive and intended to target Muslims and scheduled castes by forcing them to reveal their identity, unquote. The flip by the Congress now prompts a basic question. Is the Congress guilty of exclusion by identity? And since that is exactly what it had accused Yogi Adityanath of, let's ask some questions. Shyam Prasad Meka, leader of the Congress, is here with us. Vivek Srivastava is here with us. But I want to first begin with Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, first of all, what do you make of this aping of the Congress of Yogi Adityanath, who they themselves were accusing of being communal to the bone, saying, how can you do this?
Rahul, what can I say? We've been witness to this for more than 10 years now, that all the ideas, the policies, the implementations are started by the Congress, and the Congress never finishes them, or if it does, people forget it. And when the BJP completes them or tries to follow them, then all outrage brigade comes and descends like a ton of bricks on the BJP. And I gave you the other day, if you remember a week ago, 10 examples, starting with erecting giant flagpoles, bullet trains, GST, farm laws, this and that, everything. National anthem standing. And this is another thing, if you remember the FSSAI rule, stipulate that such a thing has to be done by every eatery, by everyone who is either selling open or food that is packaged. This was done during the UPA. The hypocrisy and illogic of those who outraged when Yogi decided to follow this is just mind-blowing. The state was being guilt-tripped into not even asking company owners to disclose their name and not hide their true identity. This was completely gone haywire. Every logic was thrown out of the window just because they hate BJP. Now, I tell you, I assure you, had the Congress done it before the BJP did it, there would have been absolutely no outrage. The fact of the matter is, why was this implemented? Because there have been multiple instances of unhygienic practices being followed by people of a particular religious denomination. Where it comes to food, for example, spitting. Under such circumstances, why shouldn't the customer know beforehand from whom is he going to buy food? Why?
Okay. Mr. Meka, let me ask you, because this is what your ally, the Samajwadi Party said, this is what the Congress said, the order was communal. The original order by Yogi Adityanath was communal and divisive, intended to target Muslims and scheduled castes. Now, in Himachal, that same order is being followed, and you are crediting Yogi Adityanath. You saw the tweet. Aapne bhi dekha hoga, sir. You saw Mr. Singh's tweet. It's right there on your screens, where he's got the photo of Yogi Adityanath also. For a moment, I thought it was a Congress government, BJP government in Himachal. I say, ye kya ho gaya? To chamatkar hai. I mean, can you imagine a Congress minister tweeting Yogi Adityanath's picture and saying, we're doing exactly what he's doing? So, Mr. Meka, can you explain? I'm very confused. Who was communal? Are everybody now communal?
Yes.
मुझे थोड़ा समझा दीजिए.
So Rahul,
मगर प्यार से सर.
प्यार से. यहाँ हम मोहब्बत का दुकान चलाते हैं. Okay. So it's not about who. It's about the policy. It's absolutely meaningless, communal, and I don't understand how displaying the names. Okay, you can instruct keep the list of vendors available to every establishment, but displaying it, how does that serve adultery? Get better at curbing the adulteration? There is no logic. And being a congressman, what Himachal Pradesh government is doing is absolutely against our party line, and we don't agree with that.
So is that a republic of, I mean, is it independent of you? Do you have control over this government, or wo apna hi karte hain?
We don't handhold and control.
Oh, we don't handhold. So it's okay. Operational deniability.
We will act on that.
No.
Definitely, Congress party is going to act on
Okay,
this.
at least Mr. Meka is being, at least he's taken a firm position. Yes, Mr. Gupta, very quickly, and I also want to bring in Mr. Srivastava on this point.
They don't like, Rahul, they don't like to handhold their governments, but they fly in deputy chief ministers from Karnataka to save the government in Himachal. They say that a name cannot tell if the food is adulterated or not, but their cause of caste census is that by knowing one person's caste, you can understand the economic status. Rahul, I've never understood one simple thing about this entire debate. What's in a name? If you, I, or anyone are putting their names on our businesses, what's the harm in that? Not just for food and beverages, for anything. Why is Congress so worried if all the establishments, especially dealing with the issues of health and hygiene, are asked to put up their names? Let the customers have complete transparency. The food is adulterated or not, quality-wise okay or not. Let the customer decide. But what's wrong with the name?
But obviously, they don't think anything is wrong because they have decided to follow the Yogi model. And they look at that tweet, viewers. That's Vikramaditya Singh. He's tweeted Yogi's photograph, the chief minister. So when I looked at it in the morning, I said, oh, this must be some BJP person who is tweeting. And then I had to come back to it and say, no, this is actually something bizarre. So let me bring in the left leader here, Vivek Srivastava, your own ally, both Samajwadi Party and Congress, both opposed Yogi Adityanath. Now that entire model, they are themselves saying we are following Yogi ji.
No, I don't know what the Congress is doing, whether this tweet is official or it is in a personal capacity.
No, it's not
we
in a
do
personal
not support-
capacity, sir.
No, it is all nonsense. This tweet is nonsense. And putting up the photo of the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh is even more nonsensical. In case Mr.
Okay.
Vikramaditya likes him so much, you should go and join the BJP. It's very
Okay,
clear.
but can I ask you,
cannot go-
has your Politburo, has your Politburo come out with an official statement on this, slamming the
No, we are
Congress
very clear.
party?
See, it's very clear. See, listen to me very clear. See, when in the UPA time the naming process was decided upon, it was only for better management. But however, today the conditions have changed. The name is going to be used for boycott, for hatred, for hitting out,
Conditions have
for not
changed.
buying stuff, for closing down the shops of people who belong to the minority community or who are from the lesser known caste. That is why we oppose the naming of the shops. Mr. Yogi Adityanath started it not for better management of food adulteration. He started it during Kamar Yatra because he wanted.
These are
the-
assumptions.
So viewers, if he what
Mindless assumptions.
look,
Mindless
even,
assumptions.
look 1 second. Even I have my reservations about policies such as these, but let's just put those aside. I just want to say, viewers, that fine, Yogi Adityanath, you're calling him communal, you're calling him everything under the earth. Okay, you have a right to do so. But when your own state government then tweets a photograph of Yogi Adityanath and says, "Bhai, inka hi model chahiye," then viewers, they don't know what to say. There is no outrage. No one is moving court. No one is landing up saying to the Supreme Court, knocking on their doors at midnight and saying,
No,
"Anarth ho
we
gaya."
will be
Dr.
going to the
Anand
court.
Ranganathan. No,
No,
I have
I
not
just-
seen. Can you show me a statement from one of your leaders, Mr. Srivastava?
Absolutely, we are boycotting this nonsense.
No,
Naming process
where?
of the food stalls,
In
we
which
don't
realm
believe
of reality are you doing it? I haven't
No,
seen
no,
any
no.
reaction.
The
Yes,
Congress
Dr.
also knows they
Ranganathan.
can do
Yes.
it.
The problem with Vivek is that if he were to boycott this because he sells snake oil, by law, he would have to put his name, Vivek Srivastava, snake oil seller. I mean, he will be arrested if he doesn't put this. He's laughing. I don't know what else he's selling, but snake oil, I can confirm Vivek is selling. The point I'm trying to make out here, thank you for laughing. Thank you for bringing a respite, Vivek. The fact is, do you or do you not believe in the law of the land? It's a simple yes and no question. If you
Yeah,
don't,
the law has
I'm
to
fine
change
with
with time.
it. But then say
If a
so.
law becomes draconian,
Then
and
change it. Then you
it becomes
change
an
it.
instrument only to hit out at the minorities and
No, but
Muslims,
sir, are
not
you
by
saying that the
stop and
Congress
go.
is also now hitting out at the minority community?
This is what they are going to do, then they are wrong.
No,
If this is what
but they
going
have
to do,
done. What do you
This is
mean?
wrong.
If they are
Correct.
going to do, it's been
wrong.
done.
If they want to idolize Yogi Adityanath, it is wrong. And I don't think this is officially Congress. I think this tweet is from one gentleman, and I believe this should be
No,
taken
what are
off.
you saying? It's an order, sir. I mean, this thing has been. Look, hang on. Just a minute. Let's not be so quick
I
to
know,
dismiss.
I know it's an official order that has been given. I know the minister concerned also, but then we do not support this, and I do not think majority of the Congress.
Who is we? Who is we?
Who is India Alliance?
Mr.
Who is India Alliance?
But India. So are you saying Vikramaditya Singh is not a part of the Congress? Himachal Congress
It
is not a
doesn't
part
look
of the
like by
India
the
Alliance.
ideology what is the nonsense that is being printed around. We don't support it. We don't idolize Yogi Adityanath. Mr.
Are you
Vikramaditya
calling
likes
the voters of Himachal nonsense?
Okay.
Are you calling the government
और
of
देना राहुल
Himachal
गांधी का
nonsense?
साथ फिर
Viewers,
भाई
let me tell
विक्रमादित्य
you.
क्यों छोड़े?
छोड़ दे राहुल गांधी
Let
को
me
साथ।
ask.
अरे राहुल गांधी तो आपका साथ नहीं लेते हैं, आप क्या उनको साथ छोड़ने के लिए बोल रहे? You are
अरे आप
nobody in the
उसको छोड़
Congress.
देना, सर।
You are not even in the Congress officially.
No, whatever it is.
What are you claiming?
Okay.
You are a nobody in the Congress. I'm sorry.
Very
but
quickly,
what
let
kind
me
of
just
high
bring in.
behavior is
Okay,
this?
on a larger point, viewers. Look, it's clear, very clear that the Congress now is following the policies that no, hang on, or a model that it opposed. Now that is known. So, Dr. Ranganathan, on the larger issue, is this desirable? What do you make of that larger question that is constantly posed, that this is anti-X community, Y community, Z community is going to lead to closures, boycotts, harassment, etc., etc.?
This is absolutely ridiculous, and this is irrationality gone completely berserk. This is by law that was put out by the Congress during the UPA, and it is a just law. It is for the consumers to know who is preparing the food for them. It is the least one could do. Number two, can I please ask my good friend Vivek, is only a Muslim allowed to perform the ritual practice of halal? Is that not discriminatory? Is that not discriminatory? When you are discriminating yourself,
I'll tell you what.
No, tell me, answer yes or no. Can a non-Muslim perform halal?
No. When you go to Europe and United States,
haywire.
when you go to Europe or United States, वहाँ मत्था टेकने जाते हैं वहाँ की यूनिवर्सिटीज में आके लोग जब पढ़ने के लिए बच्चे जाते हैं और ये बीजेपी के माता पिता भेजते हैं तब पूछते हो वहाँ पे क्या खा रहे हो क्या नहीं खा रहे हो? Do you ask them?
That's not the question. That's not the question. We are talking about.
Everything is wrong only.
We are talking about specific.
Beef is okay in America. Beef is not going to fit an Indian Muslim at all.
Okay. Vivek ji, let's not get offensive. I don't think you're on the right track here. It's okay. It doesn't matter. At least you've taken the position to say that the Congress is wrong if it is going to ape Yogi Adityanath. At least you have had the guts, and Mr. Meka has also had the guts. I give you a lot of credit for that. But the Congress party is clearly going ahead with the policy viewers that it is opposed. What does that leave us to ask? The question is, has the Congress now become the BJP's B team? Has it also become, for the interest of surviving, in politics, of winning that state over, etc., has it also decided to sell, as it is saying, not me, the Dalits, the minorities, their interests down the drain? That's the fundamental question, viewers. It is secular in Himachal Pradesh, but not in Uttar Pradesh. This is as bizarre as it is. If Yogi does it, it is communal. If Mr. Sukku does it, then it is secular.
Yogi did it, and look at the timings of Yogi Adityanath.
Sir, it doesn't matter. It's not me. It is not you also, to your credit, who is citing Yogi Adityanath. He is he is the touchstone. It's not Rahul Gandhi's policy that anyone is adopting or his model. It is Yogi Adityanath's model that the Congress is adopting. इससे और बड़ा इंडाइटमेंट क्या हो सकता है? और
दुख की बात है।
अब आप मेरे को समझा दीजिए ये क्यों हो रहा है ऐसे?
I do not know if some people.
I don't know. See, you see, viewers, how tongue-tied they are. Because when Yogi does it, he's communal. But when it comes to Congress, and I ask them, why do you think the Congress is doing it? अब ये तो मुझे पता नहीं.
I'll tell you.
Okay, I'll leave it at this. I've run out of time. We are doing enough here. I'll leave it at this, viewers. The Right Stand coming up with Anand Narsingh.